we on CP sign today, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Enough of the code switching. Been hitting my soul, been on the ropes. I'm ready to grow, so get to know me. Keep your head up, I want you to grow.
Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth.
What?
Then it's a soap opera. What's up?
No contest. Wait, see it's gold on me. Surf's up, nigga. The world been dying, days is number. Check the climate.
This list is some ass, bro.
You put Cardi B over Illmatic.
You put this over, not just that. You put this over pop. You put this over Aquemini. You put this over rap music. You put this over All Eyes on Me.
That was it. Oh, yo. Because I'm looking at my. This is ridiculous, but welcome to the pod. I'm your host as always. This is Unbounded. I'm your host as always. The truth, Mr. Top Shelf only. Got my boy, the outlier Isaac. What's happening?
These are delicious. Mountain Dew, hit me up. I will advertise this to anybody and everybody who will listen. Because this is awesome.
King's crowning to be a brand ambassador, so I'm hoping that goes through.
Wait, what?
I put an application to be a brand ambassador.
A bread?
Brand, not bread.
Oh, brand. I thought you said bread. I'm like, dog, it's bread. Like,
I don't eat bread right now. I can't have bread. What am I going to do? Being an ambassador of bread.
I don't know. I mean, tell people, hey, this is how you make French toast. Something like that. For the people who don't know how to make French toast. No, but for real, Mountain Dew, hit me up. Like, I'll drive around the country and tell people how great this is. I don't care. Not all around the country, but I will go to certain places in this country because I know not all of them are friendly. Other than not all friendly, they're sketchy. Yeah, I think sketchy is a better word. I'll do it, though. If you give me gas money.
So I was asked about this situation.
Okay.
And I guess because people know that I'm a musician. I was live on TikTok, just labbing, just working on some songs. And then I kind of wanted to bring it up anyway, but I didn't know how to really go about it. But there was a rapper that actually one of the kids my first year was telling me about. So okay. I knew about the rapper because, again, I work with kids and they listen to this stuff. And he just said
Before you go any further, remember the rapper I was talking about who told his ops to pull up on him and they did? That wasn't this guy. Somebody else. The guy's name, take a wild guesses where he's from, first of all.
Florida.
He is from Florida. He's from Tampa. And his name is Rolly Bands. And it says over the weekend, he was shot and killed over the weekend. This is last weekend. He challenged his enemies to meet him at his apartment. And they pulled up on him and yeah.
Did him in?
Yep.
So here's my issue, and you're probably going to see as this show goes further and further into a lot of the topics that we're going to discuss, that my issue is that we shouldn't have social media. Social media is a legitimate disease.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably going to be the entire topic of today's podcast, because you're going to talk about a story about a lady who graduated college this week and how she decided to use social media to to build her brand.
I'm gonna say I don't think it's a disease, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like social media isn't doing what people weren't doing back in the day as far as spreading news. and information.
But
Back
was
in the
it
day,
as effective?
Well, for example,
Because
now
I actually believe
this is an extreme example, but it is an example. And it's not even here. So you had, now granted, you had an entire country legally decide to bring in, to elect a man who'll become a dictator to power. And he went on to do all these horrendous acts in the name of nationalism. I feel like you know who I'm talking about without me having to say his name, because I don't know how social media feels about that. Anyway, yeah, he went on to do a bunch of horrendous acts in order to, continue his plight of nationalism. So with that, everybody there, like, supporting this, half of them were probably for it, half of them were probably against it. But I'm pretty sure without social media, you had all these people following it, just going along with it. Here, with social media, the thing I think social media has done better, even though it's similar, is you have people who are able to find things out for themselves. Or I don't even say that. Well, yeah, they're able to find things out for themselves and make their own decisions. I think, honestly, the thing is, I think the one thing it did is make the internet better. The internet made it better. Now people can do research and look things up for themselves wherever they want to. They just don't have to follow a crowd, so to speak.
That's also debatable.
Yeah.
And I say that because, do we really do research for ourselves, or do we just headline search?
I do. I mean, depending on, honestly, it depends on what it is and how bad I want to find out. Honestly.
So that's the thing I'm starting to really understand. And the issue is they can still control what you're seeing on the internet. So you can at times you're trying to find something and it gets suppressed down because they don't want you to see it. And so you're seeing what is wanted to be seen, and you also have people who will, again, headline search. So instead of looking deep into what is being said, they'll see a headline, and that headline could be 100% missing to what somebody said, and then everybody's attacking based off the headline instead of looking into what's being said, and then saying, okay, this headline was really trying to gain clicks. And that's my whole thing with social media now, is there's a way to really build your brand, and it's not always the most, how should I put this, ethical way. It's not the most ethical way. And this is what you are seeing with a lot of these.
Ethics depends on the audience. You know what I mean? Whether or not it can be ethical. Now, because you can release, like, put it this way, the way we release our brand, for example. We go about it in a, basic kind of way. Let's be real.
Because typically we're not here for trying to make headlines and whatnot. I mean, I had that one moment earlier this year, where I put the thing out and I got attacked for it. But for the most part, I'm not out here trying to get some type of soundbite that's going to.
Yeah, we're not trying to be we're not trying to be notorious. We're not trying to be notorious. We're not Conor McGregor. We're not notorious. Or
and so that's what you're seeing now, because with, like, I'm gonna go ahead and hold tight to the JayDaYoungan situation, because I want to get to this. So the FAMU girl, I can't even think what her name is right now.
Hang on, I got you.
Terica, something like that.
I got you, bro.
So she graduated from FAMU this week. Congratulations to her. She got her her master's, which I think was in
Erica Williams.
counseling and education, something like that. So I guess she's trying to be a guidance counselor. All this is going to come into an issue. So then she posts on her Instagram a picture. The picture that I'm going to talk about was on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, she said she has a master's in counselor education with a bachelor's in communication. She's joining 2% of Black therapists, which is a big deal. We need more Black therapists. Shout out to Black therapists out there. You're doing great work.
But I have an issue here.
3.8 graduate student. Yeah.
She has 3.8.
Maintained a 3.8 GPA.
Well, you kind of got to keep up with your GPA has to be stupid high to get through grad school.
Yeah, I mean, still, hey, she just shout out to her. Black girl magic. I mean, that's passing. I don't have a lighter.
It is, but this wasn't. So she showed that she posted a picture of because this is an issue that I cannot stand for. This is a non-negotiable issue that I would not stand for because this is ridiculous. Because I go to an HBCU. Okay, you do not stand in front of a school, in front of the front of the school where the school is being shown, and it's a statue of the because their mascot's a rattler. Your butt out all in the open, unclothed, full moon, and think that's cool. Congratulations to you for graduating, but this is ridiculous.
I was going to say you're 100% right. That's what I was going to say. But I was also going to say. I forgot what I was about to say. Hate that. But here's how I look at this. Is it? I'm not gonna say. I can't say this is wrong. That's what I can't do.
This is 100% wrong in my opinion.
I can't. Okay. I can't say it's wrong. I can't say it's wrong. I could say this. There are 100 different ways if you wanted to build your brand for whatever it is you could do. Okay? I will say that. But I can't call how she would went about this as wrong. Because here's the question. Because
did she say what her plans were? So her plans is she says she's going to be a what now?
She said she planned. Let me read this again, and I see where you're going. She says she has a master's in counselor education and a bachelor's in communication. She's joining the 2% of Black therapists, and obviously it's now being overshadowed and all that.
So therapy. Who is she? What
she
is
doesn't
the target
say.
Group for
it does
therapy?
not say.
Because when I saw education, I immediately thought, oh, she's trying to be an educator, working within the education system, whether it be because I saw counseling, I thought, okay, guidance counselor, something along those lines.
It does not say.
So if you're going in that avenue, this is the issue. These kids have social media. Your picture is going to be surfacing throughout all the social media for the rest of your entire life.
Okay. So
imagine you're somebody you work with, because you probably know of it. You probably know of a teacher that there was a rumor going around about in high school that he was a adult film star. It could have been 100% false, but the word got around that he did those type of films. Now you take a rumor that you have no proof of, to having a picture that you have proof of that these children are looking directly at your derriere. How is that okay?
Look, you're right.
I see why the generation for us kept on being sticklers about be careful what you put on social media.
No, all right, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. And I don't know what her future is going to look like. I hope it's successful. I hope this doesn't hinder whatever she's got going. Probably will. I hope it doesn't. Anyway, I say that because, all right, by this, if we are going to do this, right, now, originally my counter was going to be like, well, yes, kids have social media, but my counter is kids see stuff like this all the time. Now, granted, they're not people with degrees, but in some cases they are. Like, I know this is an easy shot, but let's be real. Meg Thee Stallion. Did she graduate from college recently?
She graduated last year. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What came out last year?
Five-ish?
Involving Meg Thee Stallion.
You talking about the song?
Yes.
Five-ish? Yeah.
No. Well, that. What else? What other thing
WAP came out 2 years ago. WAP came out 2 years ago.
Okay. Regardless, it came out.
I see what you're saying. But here's where the difference lies.
Okay, why does there need to be a difference?
Because there's a difference between somebody that's just not teaching you, that does not work with you in a public school system, and somebody that is. You can't control.
But also,
what you see outside the building.
Okay, why is there a difference? There is a difference between somebody working in the school system. First of all, do we even know she's actually working in the school system? We don't know. All we know is she just graduated from college with a degree, with a master's degree. That's all we know, right? We don't know where she's going. For all we know,
that money to do something within the field.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, she's going to do something, but obviously, for all we know, she could go be working at I don't know, any counseling, some big firm somewhere. I don't know if they have counseling firms, but you know what I mean. For all we know, it could not be the school system.
So yeah, I'm kind of looking at it.
For all we know, she may be trying to open up her own firm.
With education.
So what?
So if she's not in a education system like that, then your issue isn't as muddied. But then you will have some adults that will see that, and then they will probably have questions as well. But I think that's a little bit more steerable. It's more manageable. Now, if she's going into an education system doing that, then you already know that these administrators and all these other people that work within the school board and everything like that, corporate, they all have social media. There's a reason why people that work in the education system can't say and do everything that everybody else is able to do. I can't be out here just saying any and everything.
Well, if you build enough notoriety, you could, because then you'd be untouchable.
Yeah, then I lose my job.
But you'd be untouchable and maybe rich. I'm just saying that's how the world works. That's the world we're living in right now. You can say something terrible. You can say something terrible, get notoriously famous in the worst way possible, be rich, but like I said, you'll lose your job, but you'll be rich.
Yeah, and that's the thing with her. Maybe this opens up another avenue for her to bring in more income without, because you look at Andrew, Mr. Delivered. Man's making money off of a 10-second video. Still. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm Delivered.
Oh.
Now he's on Wild and Out. Oh. So at the end of the day, I guess it can kind of work. But when it comes to education and working with kids, and it's not just for her. This is for anybody in particular. Don't be out here posting any and everything, because even if you think you're deleting it off of your own personal social media, that stuff can be caught. That stuff can be found. Once it's on the internet, it's no longer something that you can just take off. There is no permanent erase button for the internet. Screenshots live forever.
I know that
So
the hard way.
at the end of the day, and let's just say in 10, 15 years, this lady decides that she wants to turn over a new leaf, whatever. I don't know I don't know what's in her future. And she wants to, let's just say, get into politics. Why she would want to get into politics, I don't know.
Why anybody wants to get into politics these days is beyond me.
I personally don't know, but it happens. So let's say she wants to get into politics. What do you think the first thing is going to happen?
Well, that definitely going to bring that up.
They're going to bring that up. So again, whether you're in education or not, be careful what you're putting on social media because it can affect you in the long run. We've seen it so many times. Look at Zachary Wentz.
Oh, he's back together with Trey, by the way. The Rascals are back together, by the way.
Probably not making as much money as he was. Or probably could be. Because I don't think AEW would want to touch that either. So the two highest paying companies are probably not willing to touch that for a while. So you'd have to go with the Impacts and other independent companies in order to make a living.
I mostly seen him in the Wrestling Revolver, which is seen him there, seen a little other stuff. Thought some of Warrior Wrestling. Prestige.
I mean, I'm happy he's doing what he's doing, but again, the things you put on social media can and will affect you. And then it's going to, and if that happens and then she's boohoo crying about how my actions have come back to haunt, I'm going to be sitting here like, I don't know what to tell you. And I really thought that after almost 20 years of social media, we'd understand that, but clearly we haven't got to it yet. Instead, we are going to continue to make excuses for ourselves until it hurts us and then cry and expect people to feel sorry for us. And society doesn't feel sorry for you. And I think that's the thing that we have to get to understanding is that we can't expect society to cry for us, regardless what it is. Because I was looking at something that was talking about the issues of gender and all this other stuff. I was like, at a certain point, we have to understand that regardless of where you stand, everybody, well, I would say about 95% of people have a pre-existing ideology about everything. So I see it all the time. People cry about how Christians are always pushing their religion on people. Some of them, yeah. But at the same time, other people are always pushing their ideologies on other people. And if you push back at it, then you are outed as whatever type of phobe. And I'm sorry, but there is no law that says that you have to be respectful. So we have to stop expecting people to be respectful of our beliefs. So that's why I'm starting.
I mean, it does say freedom. It does say freedom of religion, not respect of religion.
So. Right. So you're free to believe in that. You're free to believe that you can be a chicken. Everybody doesn't have to subscribe to your belief, though. In my honest opinion, I'm going to look at you and say, I think you're weird, but hey, I'm going to let you live your life.
I think the thing we get into and the reason why we have some of that is because we can't respect it. You know,
You're not. There's nothing that says you have to.
I know there's
that's what it
I know there's something that says you have to, but that is the thing that we can't. Not even that you have to respect it or accept it. You don't have to do either. But the fact that we live in a world that wants to okay, well, if that's the case, if there's no law that says you have to respect anything or accept anything, there's no law you have to accept it, but you can do it, then we need to stop preaching unity then. Not that anybody gives two fucks about unity anyway, because they don't. But yeah. I'm gonna need everybody.
Unity is a myth at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So at this point, we just need to accept the fact that unity is a myth. And that the whole we need to accept the entire basis of which our country is based on. At this point, we need to accept that all the principles that our country was based on was complete and utter bullshit.
And here's the thing with unity.
With that logic, with the logic of that we have all the freedom to do all these things, okay, but we don't have to respect it or accept it, right?
You don't have to, but this is where duties and responsibilities come in. It is not your duty to be respectful, but you probably should. It's one of those things that you don't have to, but you should do.
No, yeah, no. Okay, so all right, so put it this way. You shouldn't. Are you ready for the transition here?
Now I'm gonna put it this way.
No, I'm saying you're ready for a transition. I was about to make a transition to another subject. Were you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. No, not yet.
Not yet. All right. But
so let's just say with the whole pronoun situation, the third person pronoun situation.
Okay.
If somebody said that, hey, I go by these set of pronouns here,
right?
As a respectful person,
yes. Continue.
You should do that. However. Yes. There is nothing that says that you have to.
Okay.
Now, at that point, if that person does not, now you can have opinions on that person. And there's that. You can say everything you want to say about him, but the point where it gets violent is where we start having issues.
Right.
And there's the problem. We can't disagree in this society now. So I see it all the time. If your views go against my living, then this, that, and the third. Half the time their views aren't going against your living, you're just thinking they do.
It's literally 80% of the time.
Right.
80% of that is like, it's not affecting me physically. It is.
I just don't like the fact that you don't like it.
Exactly.
And you've heard me talk about it so many times where I can sit across from a racist.
Yes.
Because not every racist be dead. Wants to be alive.
I've actually done it. I've sat across from a girl who I found out was
I've been told a lot of people that I have interacted with in my life have been racist.
Yeah.
For me, I am a very respectful person. When you get to know me, and I've been told like people that a lot of other people have issues with, and I can go and not have issues with because I'm respectful. Until you step out of line, and then I do have a side of me that can kind of get down and dirty with you. I don't like going there. So I do everything in my power to not even help escalate it there. Because I don't like that side of me. So I speak to everybody. I wave at everybody. I try to be kind. Now, the people I'm just like flat out mean to, if I'm flat out mean to you off rip, it's because we're cool. Okay. Like, you know, I hit him, I was like, what's good? You still ugly. I say that to nobody else but people I'm like, man, cool with. If I'm mean, if you see me just flat out being mean to somebody, just know I'm cool. Now, people that get disrespectful with me, I say things, I can be condescending. I'm going to just keep it a butt with you. I can be very condescending. And I know it. I try not to do that because that's not the type of person that I want to get being pushed out into the atmosphere. So, but you know what else I understand with all that?
What's that?
Everybody ain't me. So I don't expect what I give out to be given to me at every single chance. And in that case, I'm not sitting here trying to make everybody accept me for who I am. I live unapologetically as me, and and that's the thing. I think all these communities need to understand is that whether you are in the LGBTQIA plus community, Black community, white community, Asian community, Jewish community, what have you, there are going to be people who don't like you. Take my 6th grade guidance counselor. 1/3 of people are going to love you, 1/3 of people are not going to like you, and the other third is just ain't going to care. Such is life. Now you transition.
Well, where we were going was to like you said before, there are things that are like, how would you say before that there are things you have to accept. You know, you're free to do whatever you want. You know what I mean? But there's some things you have to respect. You don't have to respect or accept them necessarily, right?
Yeah.
There is one thing that I think you have to respect or at least accept.
What's that?
And that is the fact that Alex Jones is a piece of garbage. Actually, that's still a matter of perspective, but still, like, I mean,
I think he really whipped on that theory, the initial theory.
I don't know, like
secondary theory too. He whipped bad.
I know we're gonna get to this in a second, in however long, but I'm pretty sure this has got to be one of the worst Ooga Booga takes I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that is his biggest Ooga Booga take. Because
that it
didn't tell you. I listened to his show. What was it, last week or the week before? And this is the thing I've started to understand with people of that caliber, and it's probably something I learned from Paul Adams. It's a lot of BS in there, and somewhere there is a gem. And I didn't listen to it for Alex. It was another guy that I followed that was up there, and I just kind of wanted to see what it was being talked about. And there was some things he brought up, and I'm gonna be real with you. Alex is a nut job. I don't think anybody can really say he comes off very crazy. He comes off as a nut job. I understand that a lot of things he does is to, you know who I really want to compare him to right now?
Who?
JD from New York.
Oh, facts. JD
may be trying to be the Alex Jones of the IWC.
Like,
now that I think about it, because you think about it, JD has a lot of Ooga Booga takes.
When I first heard of Alex Jones, I had a guy I started with was playing his videos. And at first I thought it was just banter. Like, I thought it was just some guy with a show who was being funny. But, like, he was saying these, like, but it was all like political takes and like conspiracy. I was like, who is this guy? He's a conspiracy theorist. Which you know how I feel about conspiracy theorists anyway.
I think we're like polar opposite when it comes to conspiracy theory because I would listen to it because I do believe there are some that can be legitimate and some are just absolutely ridiculous. I still think the 5G one is like the dumbest conspiracy theory behind the Sandy Hook.
Here's where he lost me. He lost me when he said that they're poisoning the water. He said something about, I forgot what he said before that, but when he said these words, they're poisoning the water to make frogs gay.
I need to find that because it may have been one of his satire ones because he does a lot. He used to do a lot of satire.
Well, when I heard that, whether it was satire or not, he lost me. I'm like, I don't care about whatever else he says because that had to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And then people tried to tell me, I had a guy recently tell me, oh, there's like some validity to that. I'm like, please explain. Please explain to me.
I didn't know frogs had a preference.
Yeah, please explain to me please explain to me how allegedly liberals in this country, like liberal whatever in this country, the liberal elites in this country are poisoning like water that filters out to wherever frogs are in this country and is changing their sexual preference from heterosexual to homosexual. If you can explain this to me with legitimacy and make me believe it, which I guess is the point of conspiracy theories. It's not supposed to be fact. They're just supposed to see if they can get you to believe it. It's basically one big insane advertising campaign. If you can get me to believe it,
are like insane, but like I said, there are some that have actually started to kind of manifest in our face. Like they said the laptop situation was a conspiracy theory, but
I just know.
The dynamite.
I just know. He said those words, and everything after that, I'm like, I don't care what he has to say. He can say whatever he wants, but if I see him in the headlines, I'm going to immediately be on the opposite side of it because I don't need this. And then he dropped this take.
The Sandy Hook?
Yes. And I said in my head, like, see, this is where, and honestly, this is where I kind of lost respect for a while until very recently. This is actually where I lose respect for gun owner, for people who gun advocate. Yeah. This is where I lose respect for them. Like those people who are like really pro-gun, like no matter what. I bring this up because I'm like, there's no way. I'm not saying you shouldn't have them, but I'm saying the fact that this happened and you were so much of it, you don't want any infringement whatsoever, not even the smallest type, to avoid things like this happening. I think about this because I'm like, you guys, this happened and you're so wrapped up in no infringement that you don't want to prevent something like this from happening again. And,
all right, so there's two situations.
And spoiler alert, it did happen again. Not that, well, actually, it was that bad. So I think about this, and I'm like, and then another thing that grabs me is like, why? How could, when he first said, like, how? I thought about it. So, okay, let's give him a little rope. Let's give him a little bit of rope. Okay, how could it be a hoax? How could it be? Not only say how could he be right? How could he make this make sense? Like put myself in his shoes. how can I make this make sense? And the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't think you can. And then I'm like, how? And then I thought about how, then I went from how to why. Why would any forget why would for what political gain? Honestly, I couldn't understand who's going to gain what, who's going to get what politically from this.
Did you see my messages to you before we started?
I saw some of them. Yeah, I know.
So
I saw what you said about
I
saw what you said about that one bill.
Here's what the issue lies. So the thing people have not understood.
Okay,
So the armor lights are not the number one use in these cases. It's actually the hand ones. I'm trying not to use the G word. So there's the issue there. And so I looked at a database and I'll send it to you later. And I don't want to get too deep into this because
it's just
social media.
My main thing is with it is, I'm sorry, go ahead, continue what you were saying.
And so I'm starting to see that there's a lot of cases of these things happening that were not being shown. And so you look at all the ones that they have been putting out in front in the media, they have been the ones using Armalite. And I'm like, why? Because both the Armalite and the hand pew are both semi-auto, right?
Yeah.
So what's really the difference?
I mean, there shouldn't be, but there is.
And so now they got the bill that just, I believe, passed through the House, is probably not going to go through Senate. And so I told you, I think I told you right before Uvalde. I think I told you when Buffalo happened. Don't be surprised if they start showing more. A few weeks later, Uvalde happens. Because I'm already thinking election year. They need something to run on. I've been saying for the last few weeks, politics is a game. The Republicans play a game, the Democrats play a game at the same time. So we're saying that each one has their thing that they're trying to push so hard to these media that they're going to run on. And then they're using words like pews of war. Okay. And I'm like, I think I asked you one day, I was like, did you know you Armalites in the war?
All right, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. This guy in particular.
That was ridiculous, and he's going to have to pay that.
Right. So
I got this dude in here almost on Summerslam projections. We'll get there.
Yeah. So the fact that he already lost the first case. He
has like 2 more cases. He's going to lose this one too, and he has 2 more cases by the end of the year. He's losing
exactly. He's probably going to lose all of it and lose everything because he's already banned off all social media because he kept violating hate speech policies. Because I don't know.
He talked about that because they, I think around the same time they got Farrakhan off.
Farrakhan's never even on.
No, Farrakhan. No, both of them got clapped at the same time.
Oh well, then. Hey.
And it's so funny because I think they both have met and talked and they know each other pretty well.
Well, anyway.
I just thought that was absolutely hilarious because your boy loves Farrakhan.
Which boy?
Mike. Tell him Mike.
Tyson?
No, Killer Mike.
Oh yeah.
Because I went back and watched that whole thing where he was up there,
with Candace and
and while I was watching, I was scrolling through the comments, and every single person was like, "It should have been Candace and Killer Mike the whole time." And I agree. It was like in all honesty, I would love to see them have a sit down together. I'd watch it.
My thing is, all right,
give them a show. Shoot.
On this,
Ben Shapiro, give them a show.
On this, I hate this because
what is that?
The Alex Jones thing, because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I can't process that because of the fact that everybody who listens to him is supposed to be save the children, protect the children from whatever, and all this other stuff. But 26 of them die and nobody cared.
I figured your problem.
So, huh?
I figured your problem already. You want to know what your problem is?
I care too much?
Nope. It's an E word.
Oh, I was expecting
expectation.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. You expect too much.
Yeah.
I expect nothing out of anybody, and then you can't be disappointed if you don't have expectations.
True. Very true.
Something Mr. Adams taught me back in band. Shout out to the Spartan Legion. Let's go ahead and get SummerSlam. So these comments will leave me alone. Do you think Seth Rollins is gonna have a match tonight?
I am sure I do not know. I'm not saying that because I don't know. Honestly,
so
I don't know I don't know who's around that he could.
This is gonna be a very interesting show because this is Triple H's first show.
I don't know. I don't know who around. I don't know who's there, or just around the area in general that I actually want to see. I know one thing I don't. Like, I know, like I said before, it's not that I hate it. I just don't want to see it. I just would rather not have it. I would not. I don't know why Jeff Jarrett is there again. That's the one thing that's confusing me. I don't dislike it. I'm just very confused.
Where are they?
I know you told me that. They're in Tennessee, but it's just...
There's your answer.
I just know one thing from wrestling this week. I did enjoy Rhea Ripley wearing the "I'm Your Poppy" shirt at Ray's 20th anniversary. That was awesome.
It was so many great touches in that whole segment.
The fact that
the stare down between her and Aaliyah, knowing that Rhea Ripley is dating Buddy Matthews, who was kayfabe dating Aaliyah, almost 2 years ago.
And then it was the fact that my favorite part was it, and I know we're not going to get this because of honestly, after the recent events, I don't think WWE should be publicly traded anymore. I don't know what thing you got to go through for that, but
I doubt
know.
They go private.
Huh?
I doubt they go private.
I'm just saying that it's just. I say that because of what I'm about to say.
I think it was a financial move, though.
I say this because of what I'm about to say next. I don't want them to go to be publicly traded for what I'm about to say next. I want to see Rhea Ripley versus Dom in a match. Because I watched her at that show on Raw because she mushes Aaliyah, right? And Dom goes to check on his sister. Rhea grabs this man from behind and starts dragging him by his collar out of the room. It's just the funniest image to me. And I'm like, and the one comment I've been seeing around is like, if I'm Dom, I'm like, not that, well, if I was Dom in that situation, I'm not going to describe how I'd be feeling. If
I'm
Rhea
scared
Ripley
of
did
Rhea,
that.
so I'm not doing a thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to describe on this show in front of you while we're live how I would feel if Rhea Ripley did grab me like that. But we're gonna save that for another time.
Get your mind out the gutter.
I'm just saying. But I will say that the imagery of that, like, what's the comment you've seen around? Personally, I wouldn't let that slide.
Personally,
I know you've seen like, yes,
that's
personally, I wouldn't
say
take
it all the time. Personally,
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, y'all hush up.
That's what I'm saying. So if I'm Dominic Mysterio, I'm like, I would be thinking like, personally, I would not let that slide. So obviously, we gotta.
I'm not getting in there and doing anything to Rhea Ripley.
Once again, we're not Dominic Mysterio, although I wish I was. But we ain't talking about that.
I'm saying this is Anthony Pierce.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. But I think I don't know how cleared she is right now. I don't know if she's cleared at all. I know she's going to be there tonight.
I'm just happy.
But I'm just saying. I think you can't tell me that would not be an interesting match. Because think about it, it would attribute to the feud. You know, it would make sense storyline wise. You know, just think about it. Because it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, just saying. All right, that's why I want them to for them to go back private.
Now that you say that, it does make sense.
Right?
All right, see? Ready to go through this card?
I don't know why you act surprised when I do that. You always act surprised when
I'm the one that doesn't make any sense. I'm the one that gets us hated on social media.
I mean,
all right, let's go through the card here. All right, we got I'm gonna start off with the undercard. You got Mysterios versus the Judgment Day and a no DQ match.
I think Edge makes a return here.
I feel like something's gonna happen though.
I think Edge is gonna make his return and cost Judgment Day.
Could be
either way, whichever way it goes, Edge is coming back. And from what I'm seeing,
are calling that there's a possibility that Bray is somehow aligned with Edge here.
Well, they were tag team champions at one point. Actually had a good run as tag champs. They actually have some pretty banger matches as tag champs.
So if this is Bray Wyatt and we're going to be live recording this, I'm probably going to lose my mind. But I'm gonna go here with the Judgment Day because Mysterios have been getting the upper hand the last few weeks with their with everything going on outside of the attack. For the most part,
Monday,
the matches have been going the Mysterios' way. So I'm going Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'm going with the Judgment Day too.
Miz versus Logan Paul is going to be a sleeper match. I think a lot of people are sleeping on how, especially seeing how well Logan Paul did at Mania.
I don't see Logan losing this. I ain't even gonna hold you. There are only two matches on here I care about. Brock Roman, obviously, because Roman's my guy, and the match we just talked about. That's it. I'm not gonna sit here and trying to feign interest about all of this. I can't. I'm at a point in my life where I'm really trying to be true to myself. And being true to myself in this situation
is just the fact that we don't know what's going to happen tonight.
That and being true to myself says I don't know what's going to happen, and also being true to myself says I haven't really been watching a lot of WWE, but you best believe I'm going to watch it because wrestling.
Oh, well,
speaking of wrestling, we're going to get to something else.
A lot of eyes will be on this because of that factor. The Hunter Hearst Helmsley, or my fault, Paul Levesque because that's what he's going by right now. He's going back by his name. The Paul Levesque era. 3 episodes in, and I'm already enjoying what I've been seeing.
Also something really funny that happened was when Roman cut that promo.
Tony
on,
Romo cut a promo. I need it.
Roman, the tribal chief, cut that promo on Austin Theory, and as they were leaving, Jey Uso smacked Theory in the back of the head. That was funny. That was funny.
Oh, which one was that? Jimmy or Jay that slapped him?
That was Jay.
Oh my gosh, man!
That
That first hour of Raw was amazing.
The way that was on SmackDown. He did that.
No, that was Raw.
Was it?
Yeah,
it's like they're walking out the ring.
Raw.
He just smacked them in the head.
Was that his head? I thought he got necked.
One of them. I know he hit him.
Well, hold on. Am I allowed to say that? Does that sound a little too sus? I know in this culture we have to be aware of what the words we use. Now, back in 2012.
Wait, what'd you say?
Somebody got necked. You know what that meant when somebody got necked. You got slapped.
I still know what that means because I've had it happen.
But you know that we're not in the 2012 society. 2022 in 2012, a glizzy wasn't a hot dog.
I don't think glizzies existed in 2012.
A glizzy was a pubic.
No, it was they weren't blickies until like 2019. They weren't
blickies until Snitch 9 came around.
No, yeah. No, you're right. He's right.
But I'm pretty sure I heard somebody call it a glizzy at one point. But moving on, we got our women's matches. We have Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. This story, I think this was perfect for the show, especially with the story going into it. They really leaned into the 24-second match at last SummerSlam.
28
seconds.
Yeah, 28.
I think Bianca does get this one to kind of wash down that bad dream that was. I'm going to say it was a bad dream. I think Bayley shows up either tonight or tomorrow night or Monday night. I think Bayley's ready. So I'm going Bianca here because Bayley and Bianca still have not had their match. They were supposed to have their match at Money in the Bank in 2021, but the injury happened. And it's been over a year, and I think they estimated 10 months.
For Bayley.
Hello. So it's been what? 14?
It's been a minute.
It's been a brick. So I think that's going to happen. So I got Bianca. Next we have Liv versus Ronda. I don't know how she's going to do it, but I got Liv. I don't know how she's going to do it, but I got Liv.
Liv is going to pull this off. I think
this would be a great moment to really fully establish her. Let her fight from underneath the entire time and then just find a way to win it.
Dang, they fighting.
Oh, shoot, that's happening.
What?
Usos versus Street Profits. I got.
Yeah. No, I was saying Desperado and Moxley are fighting in New Japan. No DQ.
What was happening too? Pillman is in Virginia tonight.
Oh, at VCW?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pillman and what's the different Impact? Savannah.
Well, Mox is fighting Desperado right now. Amanda Nunes is fighting Juliana Pena for the bantamweight belt. Derek Lewis is fighting.
Is that the main event?
No, Nunes and Pena is the main event.
Okay. I think Yeah, SummerSlam be well over before the main event happens. You'll
Oh yeah,
probably
well the
like
card don't start. The main card don't start till 10. So
yeah, by the time the main card is on, the second match will probably be where the main event for SummerSlam is happening.
oh, FTR was in New Japan. How about that?
FTR's well, they are the champs.
Yeah. Oh, and they're in Nashville.
Who's in Nashville?
New Japan.
Well,
For their show.
in there.
Yep, everybody.
It's kind of they kind of got the. That's what you do. You go where the biggest, which is SummerSlam. Do you want to go through the card for Ric Flair's final match?
Not. Do you?
Okay, we don't have to. No, not really. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin.
I want to talk about. There's one thing I want to talk about, and everybody was giving it so much love and all that.
Well,
and
hold it.
I'm going to give you a hot take,
sir.
I have a say. Well, oh, right. Well, I'm going to give you. I have a hot take for after we go through the SummerSlam card. All right, you probably already know what it is because I told you, but we're going to go through it.
Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin.
I
got Pat, but this has been Corbin's best feud of his WWE career. Lashley versus Theory. I got Lashley clearly.
Because Lashley is champ, right?
Yeah, but Lashley's champ. He wanted.
Okay, yeah, Lashley's retaining.
And then Roman versus Brock in the last man standing match. I got Brock. I got Roman. I don't see Theory cashing in tonight.
I don't think so either.
And here's why. What sense does it make to have a guy that you could make your top heel cash in against Brock and the biggest heel in your company? Would it make more sense to wait until Clash at the Castle
and cash in on Drew?
They're already in Drew's backyard. Drew beats Roman. In theory, cashes in. But I did see, because maybe this could be the moment they turn Roman face. Because there was there's a picture floating around that was at Evolve where Theory was with Paul Heyman. Have you seen that picture?
Oh, Paul! You think Paul turns on Roman?
Because you look at how there's been a weird connection between Theory and Heyman over the last few weeks. I know you're not watching as much as I am, but this is something that I've been kind of noticing just in my watching. It just feels like there's a backdoor plan that is leading to maybe Theory cashing in tonight and Heyman kind of turning on Roman, completing Roman's full babyface turn. Because at this point now, I think Roman can go face,
and then the bloodline be face.
Because let's keep it real, the fans have never truly booed the Usos.
No.
And they're cheering Roman they're cheering Roman more than they cheer Roman at the 2013 Rumble.
When they turned heel the first time, the very first.
By the end of the year, I'm going to have a montage of this, okay?
When they turned heel the first time in 2016 and changed gimmicks from what they were before. I don't know how to describe it. What they were before to the Uso Penitentiary, right?
Ooh, Lord, yeah.
Right there. They got booed the first couple of months, and then until they feuded with the New Day. And then once they feuded with the New Day, freaking took off. And even in all those matches with the New Day were the faces, but they really were, like you just said, they weren't they didn't boo the Usos. Yeah, the Usos were the heels in it, but by the end of the day, they were cheering both of them because the matches were amazing.
I don't think a lot of people noticed it, and maybe it was just somebody that they knew, but they dapped somebody up one week. And I've had that happen to me. I told you about my brother, my brother that's in VCW, Devontae.
Yeah.
He's a heel.
Okay.
And so the last show we were at, and actually on the video you can see it happen. I was yelling, "Brother, what are you doing?" And so as he walking back, he put it out. I wasn't going to do it, but he put his hand out.
Well, you can't turn it down.
He put his hand out. So at that point, I was like, well, might as well go ahead and put mine out too. I can't leave the man hanging.
No, that's out of that's out of principle. It's a principle. Principle of if a here's something you don't know.
Out of brother put his hand out for a fist bump. You better put your hand out, or you gonna put his hand, or you gonna put that to your face.
On principle, if a brother puts his hand out or his fist out, you have to fist bump him or dap him up. It's based on principle.
If you don't, it's going to your face.
Yes, or on the back of your head, especially if you don't see it.
I don't make the rules, y'all.
Yeah. So. Anyway,
yeah, it's a lot of different things, and I think that's the best part about the go home segment last night, because it gave you this sense of unpredictability. You don't know where this is going leading up to Clash at the Castle. So there's so many different scenarios. Like everybody's thinking, okay, it's gonna be Roman versus Drew. It could be Drew versus Brock, because at the end of the show, it was like, because Paul Heyman was giving his little talk, Brock Lesnar comes out, and then Theory comes out, gets beat up. He gets out the ring, turns around, and eats a Claymore. So this could be.
I saw
that. This could be Roman versus Drew. This could be Brock versus Drew, or it could be Theory versus Drew. In so many different ways this could go, leading into their next big show, which is Clash at the Castle next month. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Triple H does with what he has. I got a feeling that he has a trick up his sleeve, because there have been a lot of rumors going around that he's been talking to Sasha and Naomi, and talks about him talking to Gargano, even some other people. I heard Cross. So there's a lot of people.
I still have this shirt. So I mean,
can we get Hit Row back? I know we can't get Swerve, but at least like Tahuti and Frank and my girl Bree. I'm still just mad about the fact that they got rid of Tahuti and them and Frank. But yeah, CM Punk though.
Before we get to CM Punk, well, no, I think CM Punk will lead into other hot takes. I don't think. I see what he was saying. You know,
I understand what he was saying too, and I understand. I understand it, especially from his perspective of WWE did him wrong, and he's the type of person that doesn't forgive. I get it.
Which I don't think, because a lot of the comments I saw that was like, wow, you know, he's so what's the word they were using? Yeah, like
I mean,
it's not like he doesn't have a right to be.
I mean, yeah, he holds grudges. He's like a lot of other people in society. I mean, it is what it is. But here's my problem. He was a part of AEW on the 31st of December.
Oh no, I see where you're going. Yeah, no, you're right.
He's done more talking about the issues in WWE with Bianca, with Sasha and Naomi than he did with his boss going on Twitter dogging out one of his former talents.
Okay, so
and the only person that stood up for that woman is no longer in that company, which is very interesting to me since Tony Khan brought up that he has a lot of these guys that he just signed to 5 and 7 year contracts, but this man was gone in less than a year. Speaking of Leo, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good.
I know. Leo was I saw him at I didn't see him. I saw him on TikTok. He was doing commentary at GCW, I want to say.
Who, Leo?
Yeah. He was on commentary somewhere. I think pretty sure it was at GCW.
Oh, he's a great talker, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's amazing. Shout out to Leo Rush. You're the best.
Maybe I could get him up. Let me see, because I know somebody that knows him.
Yeah, hey, do it, bro. Do it. Go for it.
Let me see something. Let me hit her up right now, because she might be a lot more closer to him than I think.
But like, look, you're right. I don't know why. It's the same energy kind of thing, which I get. I totally get. It's definitely the same energy kind of thing. However, speaking of the media that's in the mud, one thing I'm noticing is nobody's asking the questions in regards to these subjects. You know what I mean?
What subject?
Like with what happened to Swole. Like, it's like it happens, and then because it's not big enough, we just formulate an opinion and move on. And people take sides on it and then move on. So I'm not going to fault now, unless these people are coming out directly, which he did do in that, and said just directly, this is how I feel about the subject. This is how you feel about the subject. That's one thing. But if it's up to, if you want to get answers to something, you got to ask the right questions. Would you not agree?
I agree, but here's my question for that. How can you expect someone to ask questions to a person that they identify with? There's a reason why a lot of these people in the IWC identify more with Tony Khan than they do with any other head of a company when it comes to wrestling.
And why is that?
How many other CEOs, or is that what we're looking for? How many other head of companies are fans in the aspect that Tony Khan is?
Well, Brett Lauderdale kind of is, but not to that extent.
Brett Lauderdale is like
I think the better way to ask that question is how many heads of companies care so much more about their company. And I think Tony Khan is up there because, like I said, Brett is up there. The way Brett Lauderdale runs GCW, he definitely knows the product he's producing.
He cares, but he doesn't care enough to really.
Well, he cares enough to understand that he's going to put on the best product. He's not going to put out garbage out there. Don't understand that he can't put garbage.
Didn't they have AJ in a show lately?
Didn't they have a what?
AJ Gray. Didn't AJ Gray wrestle just recently for?
That was last night, actually. But mind you, during that, from when the first thing, and you got to give Brett this, when the whole thing's about AJ Gray came out, nobody saw, you didn't see hype nor advertisement or anything of AJ Gray in GCW or anywhere. And then once it was done, once whatever came out, that, I mean, I'm not going to say who's on the right, who's on the wrong, but it came out that he was cleared. Now granted, now that goes back to the previous conversation we had. He was cleared in the court of public opinion, although in some cases, I think was it like that the person
he's clear legally, not in the court of public opinion.
That's what I meant. Like, he got cleared because like the person lied or whatever, right, or something.
I guess they didn't see enough information to really say that he was. Basically, so when the other side came out, I think that kind of gave him the clear to go back and do what he was doing.
Right. But until that time, between then, you didn't see him advertised. You didn't see them talk about. They talked about him, but they didn't they didn't do anything with him. You know what I mean? Then once he got cleared, then they brought him back.
Very interesting you say that, because I just haven't heard anything about him at all. Like now, the new topic of IWC is Dick Van Klondike.
But like I said, I only first saw him. I think they announced his return for this show, that he was going to be there, and that was it.
So he wrestled last night, though.
He did. He lost the GCW Extreme Championship to Cole Radrick because he was going in a scramble for the belt. So.
Okay.
But like I said, shout out I think the way they handled that was, I'm talking about Brett Lauderdale and GCW, the way they handled that was.
In all honesty, they handled it the same way WWE handled Velveteen Dream. They pulled him, and once they did their research and they said they found nothing on him, they put him back on TV.
Only to later fire him.
It was a lot of other issues that went there, because he did get the car accident too, and the rumors about his attitude and everything like that kind of didn't help the situation. I do kind of wonder what would have been like if they went ahead and just kind of was like middle finger to the IWC. We're going to keep pushing him. We found nothing wrong, and we're going to keep moving it. We're going to keep trucking as we were. Now, you would have had some heat about it, but I'm going to say it. If you saw more heat towards him, if they were pushing him the way they're doing Riddle and Theory, I would have pulled the card. And it's a card that I don't pull often.
Black card? Race card?
Yeah, racism. I don't pull it often. There would have been the reason I would have pulled it, because that's three individuals that were definitely
in the same situation
listed in this movement.
Right.
One is pretty much on his way to being the world champion of the biggest company in wrestling. The other one is one of the most over baby faces in the company.
Right.
You have a few people talking about it. One of them being the one that's coming out with one involved with AJ. But for the most part, you're not seeing it. Every once in a while, somebody will bring it up and it'll get like 100-something share, 100-something retweets and whatnot. But you go to the shows, where the song come on, you're hearing a bunch of bro, and Theory's getting the appropriate boos. Which Theory's doing an amazing job in his role.
I mean, have you seen his face?
He does have a much more face. I love it. I love heels like that. it just makes you want to punch him in the face.
I love heels like Homelander. Well, he's not a heel.
I'm not saying that I'm going to. I'm talking about wrestling. Wrestling is a art form. It is not legitimate. It is a show. Thank you.
Very convincing art form.
Don't slap my account. I said that this is a TV show. Thank you.
Very convincing art form.
Very convincing art form. But he just has that face, just like, oh, you're so annoying. And he's really leaning into it, which I appreciate. And he's really been feeding in. He's really been owning the crowd with his mic work. So, props to Theory, great wrestler. Look, I know how you feel about the guy, but you have to admit it does mean something when Jim Cornette likes you.
Wait, first of all, I've never said I've never liked Jim Cornette. I just think he has I just don't agree with some of his takes. Like his take on Joshi wrestling. I think that's a terrible take. I really do.
Is it leaning to Ooga Booga take?
It is. It's terrible. It's not that bad. It's just
Okay.
It's a terrible take, but it's not that bad. Because some of my favorite matches have been from Stardom and Tokyo Joshi.
I think he just doesn't care for the appearance, because he calls them Japanese.
Yeah, I know what he calls them.
Yeah,
I don't care. If anything, the fact that is the aesthetic it has, but the delivery is what we get, is what it is, like hard hitting, like that. I'd even say, if I sent you half the clips I see on Twitter that come out of Stardom, you would probably cringe and think that they're actually mild in comparison.
I know what it is. It's to this part of your neck, because that's where they're really.
If I sent you some of the stuff, that these women were doing in Stardom and Tokyo Joshi Pro, you would think whatever Kota Ibushi was doing, what Kota Ibushi and Tetsuya Naito were doing to each other in their matches, is mild in comparison to some of that stuff.
I'm aware that these folk out there is crazy. I talk about all the time, and I'm like, I personally
telling you
for myself, because
I tell you it's mild. It is mild.
The ramifications of it in the long run are just ridiculous.
Oh, and mind you, most of them are in there. Well, granted, and the thing is,
I want to be able to live at 50, 60 years old. And
here's the thing. And I think, and I actually kind of credit them for this. It's like they work that style, especially in Stardom and Tokyo Joshi in Joshi wrestling. It's like they know, unlike in North America, in some part in the UK, they're aware. I'm pretty sure they're self-aware that time is short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because not everybody can have Io's career or Kana, aka Asuka's career, where Asuka's almost 40 and still going.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I think I understand why people like Asuka and Shinsuke come to WWE.
No, I totally get it too.
And it makes so much sense to make money. You're doing what you love, but you're not going as hard as where you're seeing career.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I think I know, but I can see why the women in particular start so early, because they're starting at 17, 18, going. As one of their champions, as Azumi AZM is I think she's 19.
Golly.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between Japanese style wrestling and American style wrestling. Because when I went and was contemplating training, one of the OGs told me, he was like, you want to be able to do this 20, 30 years while you're 60 and be able to still come in here and bump. Let's just say Ric Flair was a Japanese strong style wrestler. Do you really think Ric Flair would be having his last match at the age of 85,000? This man probably wouldn't be able to see the age he's at right now. That man be croaked up 6 feet under, probably in a mile or something.
Well, you say that, but he hasn't taken a bump in forever. I hope he doesn't. But KG Muto is still out here. I don't know
He's
why.
been bumping the whole time training.
I know, but still, it's still wild. That's still wild. He's in Noah.
I'm saying a prayer that this man does not.
He was world. KG
Annoying.
Muto was the GHC World Heavyweight Champion. I think 6 months ago.
How old is Muta?
I know he's in his 60s.
Flair has got to be almost 80, bro.
Flair is 73. Because my dad is 78.
Ain't no way this man looked 95.
Well, it was also all the drinking. Think about how much drinking he did.
No, I'm looking at Ric Flair pictures now. From when he was in WCW, this man looked 60.
KG Muto is 59.
Ain't no way that this man, when WCW, that was about what? 25 years
Well,
ago?
keep in mind, he was also in NWA.
No,
he was in NWA, then WCW.
This man looks 60 at the age of 48. This is ridiculous. I bet you Muta looks a lot younger than he does. Looking it up.
Wait, is Blood Diamond fighting tonight?
No, we're doing this. We're doing this. Hold on, let me share. No, I'm not inviting nobody. I want to share my screen.
Hey, Blood Diamond's fighting tonight. He's about to fight right now.
Is that UFC?
Yeah.
Who's he fighting? This is what he looks like right now.
I mean,
is this what he looks like right this moment?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Actually, this picture right here, go to the picture under it, under the direct picture you clicked. Yeah, that's recent. That's like 2 months ago.
Maybe upper 50s, lower 60s in this picture.
He's 59.
Okay, that's better than looking like this.
That's him now. That's post wrestling. That doesn't help my argument. But actually, there's not even really an argument. The
man looks like he's 200 years old. You're selling what?
I told you. Did you not see Nature Boy? I know you watched that
selling chocolates.
I know you saw that documentary, Nature Boy. Did you hear how much drinking he did?
Is it all the drinking or something else? Because this looks more.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, all of his teeth are still there, so
looks like he probably was doing some other type of controlled substances.
I don't think so. Like I said, all of his teeth are there.
We still haven't got to the JayDaYoungan situation. We'll get to that later. Blood Diamond, one of Al Lasagna's homies. Why is this man's name Blood Diamond?
I don't know, but I just hope he wins this fight. Anyway, hot take. I did not like Daniel Garcia versus Bryan Danielson, the ending. I thought that match was ruined by the ending. Absolutely ruined.
Another hot take. I'm still not really the biggest fan of Daniel Garcia. Great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Great wrestler. Just doesn't resonate with me.
Oh. But yeah, I didn't like that much. Did not like it. Don't like it. Because what is my
fault? Go ahead.
Because what is my biggest thing when it comes to good matchups? or main event matchups? What is my one thing? Especially, even they don't have to be super hyped up, but what is one thing I just asked, especially if the match is going great?
Finish it all great.
Let it continue. Let it continue to be great. I don't know why
that
it needed to end that way.
Thing was ridiculous.
Why do like he had him? From what I remember about that match, he had him the whole time. There was no way
you could have got away.
Halfway through that match, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure Garcia's probably going to win this. I don't know how, but Garcia's probably going to win this.
No, and here's the thing. You really didn't need Hager. You already had the.
You didn't need anybody.
I didn't necessarily care for it, but you already had your out. Brian has a head injury.
That's what I'm saying.
There's your out.
He had him.
So you can always go.
By the way, Brian is fine. He's good.
Well, he was working a head injury, I should say.
Yeah, but I'm saying like.
So you can always have Brian go for like the Busaiku knee, and before he hits it, he does on his usual comeback. So he flips off the ropes, does the little run, duck under, and when he ducked under, he just failed.
Right.
So going for the Busaiku knee, he could go for it, and then boom, and then you hit the power driver. You really didn't need the power driver. You could just go ahead and put. You could have caught the match there. In all honesty,
I'm just saying it could have been because I thought when he was hitting him with the elbows, when Danielson hit him with the elbows, then Daniel Garcia countered and was hitting Danielson with the elbows. I'm thinking, oh, he got him right there. That's it. You know, of course he didn't, but still, like, I thought the whole thing was a waste. And then for a week, I hear people say about, oh, Dynamite's back at it again. I was like, no, they're not back anywhere. They're not back anywhere. You just booked something really kind of dumb. I thought it was dumb. Like, I thought it was outright bad. I really did. I
thought this was one of their better shows over there in a while.
Yeah, it was good.
And
but like,
I say that because I'm not even looking at it from an in-ring standpoint. Stories were built.
Yes.
And that's what I asked for in my wrestling. Yeah, the wrestling is going to be there. The wrestling is not going to change. Give me stories. And that's what they did. They furthered the whole story between Cage and Jungle Boy. They really emotionally invested with the Hobbs turn.
Yeah.
So
then
they
House of
really
Black
are pushing things. Even adding the new tag team, I still don't understand it yet, but I feel like they're going to explain more, and it's going hopefully starts really coming together with was it Josh? Is his name Josh?
Josh Woods and Tony.
Josh Woods and Tony Nese.
Keith Lee did look like he was taking a nap, though.
Dog, Keith Lee was that? I was like, why is this man asleep? This man was like, I was like, this man. I was my first reaction was when I was watching this. I was like, what kind of food did Mia cook?
What kind?
Me and you.
Yeah, that man in a coma. Yeah,
what did you cook this man?
Hard.
They had man that sleep. I'm blaming this on you. You cooked a real good dinner for this man, and he was out there slumped. What did you cook me?
But also, shout out to House of Black. I think that's going to be some good stuff.
I'm still enjoying more the outside of AEW stuff more so than I am enjoying the AEW stuff. Like,
me too.
Like the attacks at the whatever conventions he's at. Just
I was saying, I said this.
This Darby Stream or something like that. Like, have him with Tony Hawk out there skating, and out of nowhere comes Brody. Speaking of Brody, was that tattoo real?
I think it is.
What?
I think it is.
This might be like the you know what? We might have an award ceremony at the end of the year. I think I'm going to nominate this for the Lil Uzi for what type of tattoo is this award?
I mean, I think
what type of body alteration is this award? There we go.
Way to lean into the storyline though, for real, because they're gonna have a coffin match later.
I hope it's a hit. What is it? A hitter? Whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't be putting nothing permanent on my body for a storyline.
I mean, he already got a bunch of other tattoos that look pretty dope. So I mean,
imagine 20 years down the road, he's explaining, this tattoo here. I was in a storyline with this guy named Darby Allen. You know, he's an actor nowadays. But yeah, we had a coffin match, and I decided to get a tattoo of it to resemble that coffin match.
Why not?
That's going to be a very interesting story, like 10, 15 years down the road.
Still, like, I mean, I'm
here for it. I wouldn't do it, but then again, I'm not Brody King.
Well, yeah.
I have no tattoos, and Brody King has like 1,000.
Anyway, what else you got?
Let me look before we get to the JayDaYoungan. We talked about the graduation. We talked about Summerslam, NXT. Did we talk about NXT? We did not talk about NXT 1.5. So there's a rumor going around that Triple H is going to go back to the, I guess, change NXT. A lot of people are assuming that he's going to go back to the style of the black and gold. I think that if they keep anything, probably make the NXT logo a little bit less colorful. Keep down south. Make the NXT logo a little less colorful, but keep the setup. I like the setup
of
NXT. What? How they have the arena set up?
Oh yeah. That's fine.
So I'm okay with that. Now here's the thing: they've really developed a lot of very great characters at NXT 2.0. Like, a lot of people hate on it, but I'm like, look at all the characters that have really came up. Like, look at Trick Mello. Trick and Mello have been like amazing. The Creed brothers, I've written like two guys that are homegrown talents that have really took the next step up. Chase, Andre Chase. People love Chase U. At first, I thought it was ridiculous, but I was like, dang, this is growing on me. When that man said, who did he say? Who was like, who has, because I put it in here, I was like, who has somebody ever beaten? Was it Patrick Henry? John Henry?
Wait, say it again?
It was somebody that he's like, who has this guy ever beaten? It was somebody in history. It was during their Great American Bash show. No, his segments are really good. Also, you do have to also acknowledge how fans have really grown to love Nikita. Who else? There's been a lot of people stepping up and really developing a fan base. Oh, somebody who hasn't even been on NXT 2.0 as it's on national television yet, but has really gained the love of the fans there. Quincy Elliott.
Yeah.
You seen him?
Yeah.
I think that'll be a real good one for the community, for that community as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that now Stephanie is in a position where she has more power, because she even said she was looking forward to having that being done. Whether you want to agree with it or not, that's besides the point. But now you have a guy that I'm pretty sure is. I haven't seen anything saying that he is or isn't, but some of the mannerisms kind of was like, maybe he is. Because he kind of reminds me of like like wrestling. You can see kind of the inspiration of Viscera.
That's the
But, like,
vibes I'm getting.
But from a pop culture, look, kind of reminds me of what's the dude name? What's the rapper name? Saucy Santana. Not as flamboyant, but there's some shades of Saucy Santana in there. You see it?
I don't know a lot about Saucy Santana, but
I only know about it because he was on the Double XL. And that one song that the kids used to always sing all the time. Materia Choir, or whatever that is.
that's his song?
Yes, that's him. So you know the song.
I thought that was saying by a woman. I didn't.
No, that's that's a whole man.
All right. Hey, shout, hey, do what you want there, brother.
That is an entire brother. But
Also, I think Anna J turning I thought that was dumb.
I'm gonna say
was very confusing.
I can live without seeing her cut a promo again. She's
yeah, it was very it was very it just seemed very generic promo kind of thing. Ooh. I don't know why she's even with.
That is a. What do you think about that comparison?
No, yeah, I can see that.
I can see a little bit heavy. He may be a lot of things that he's pulled inspiration from with the character. I kind of like it, and say what you want about Florida, but they've grown to love. I watched the match. It was him and Ikemen Jiro versus Malik Blade and Idris Enofe, and the crowd was going crazy for him in Florida. What was I about to say before he brought up Heavy D? What was I about to bring up? Did you listen to Beyonce album?
I did not. I kept seeing it on Tidal. I did not.
Like 3 songs, but I was like, "This is it."
Say what?
It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
But while we're on the topic of Beyonce, can we get to that big F word we talked about?
We talk about it every week, but let's go.
Yeah.
This has been our goal for the last few weeks.
Yeah. So as some of you may know, Anthony and I decided to. Well, for me, it was definitely reluctant, but necessary. And I haven't missed it. We removed Kendrick Lamar from our respective playlists after, which he still has, by the way. He's been wearing a crown of thorns. He's still wearing it. And I saw a most recent interview, he still has it. It's diamonds. I did not know it was diamonds, but it is diamonds.
Yeah, I noticed that when he was before me.
No, it was a diamond crown of thorns. And in it, the take came out. The take came out that somebody said, and I sent it to you, and you responded with, "Oh, you have time. I'm trying to find it first." You said, "Oh,
you're talking about," because I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because I think it came off of a tweet.
Kendrick said,
it came from Tor's page.
Yeah. Kendrick said, this Torian Walker said, Kendrick had to tell his worshipers, "I am not your savior." But he has still wearing that crown of thorns, which, whatever. But then he also said Beyonce had to tell her worshipers, God is God, I am not. Being a fan of an artist is cool. Being a fanatic is never is. And this guy responded with, and you think worshiping a white supremacist fairy tale god is not fanatic and cool. And then you responded with, oh, please enlighten me on this one, with the guy pointing at his watch, basically saying you got time today.
So can I explain why I said what I said?
Yeah, go for it.
So a lot of people still believe that Christianity is the white man's religion. People are still uneducated about the fact that Christianity was already spreading through Africa well before the transatlantic slave trade.
Yes, it was.
So there's a high possibility that our ancestors knew about Christianity, but not in the English language.
Right. They knew about it in the literal, not figurative, the literal traditional sense of Christianity.
So I say all that, and Christianity spread it from Middle Eastern Asia, Northern Africa, to Europe. So
yeah,
how it became the white man's religion, I have no idea.
Well, I mean, that's
now let's go ahead and attack this.
We're gonna talk about that. But yeah, go ahead.
You think worshiping a white supremacist fairy tale god is not fanatic and cool?
Now, go ahead.
In which way are you basically calling God a white supremacist? That's where I'm trying to understand, because I have yet to find something in there that has even proven that if you really understand what it's saying, that you could say, oh, this is white supremacy. You can flip anything.
You talking about Bible, or just like
the Bible?
Okay, in the Bible, no.
Now, like the slave owners did back in the day, yes, you can twist and flip scripture into your own confirmation bias.
Yes, artists can draw or paint God however they want to, which they did. They painted him white hair, olive skin, olive at best, olive in its most generous. I'm talking about the painting.
By his name is Caesar Borgia. You doing all that just say Caesar Borgia?
Well, that's what I'm saying. In paintings, skin was olive at best. At best, like pretty straight hair, all that.
They found a man. It was like, we're going to make your face the face of Jesus,
basically.
And his name was Caesar Borgia.
Yeah. And
so at that point, I've got to a point where I don't even care what he looked like at that time. It doesn't matter.
It really
I think
doesn't.
we focus too much on what he looked like and less on what he did.
I think
I'm concluding that society focuses on the wrong things.
I think the reason
we focus on there's the problem rather than focus on what the solution is to the problem.
I think we kind of get pushed into, that was the thing about, I think where the white supremacy thing came from is the fact that that's also how Christian white supremacists would push what he looks like, or the Aryan nation, that God is Aryan, which, as we know, he's not. But they would push the idea, so God is Aryan, that must mean the Aryan is God.
So guess God. And it's funny how we're talking about things we've been talking about for the last few weeks. You know what that tells me, Isaac?
What does that tell you?
People tells me this is a people issue.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is.
And it's so funny how I might have to get that on the shirt. It's a people issue. Because every single time we look at it, every single time it comes back to, oh, that's people. People do dumb stuff.
Yeah. Which is why I brought up
how these slave owners have used scripture to justify their evils, which was at that time, so society was kind of accepting of it, which was, as we know now in hindsight, is ridiculous.
Right. They use the same thing for misogyny. No, women should be submissive to men.
Which, let me touch on that.
Go ahead.
People don't know what submissive really is.
They really don't. I don't think.
It's like the same. The wife is supposed to be submissive to the man as the man is submissive to God.
Right, right. Just like in the same token, I don't think people really know.
So if you're not submissive to God, how can you expect you want to submissive to you?
Right. Just like I don't think people know people don't know what it means to be submissive. Just like people don't really know what tyranny is. I think the only people right now who could probably attest or have an idea of what tyranny is.
We don't know what words are in this society.
I know, I'm just saying, but still, like, based on, like, let me read the definition of tyranny. Because for like the last 2 years, not so much this year, I do know in like 2020, 2021, in the middle of COVID, we had so many people throwing around that word. Cruel and oppressive government or rule. People who survive war and escape tyranny. Do you know who kind of, like right now, can kind of attest to this? Huh?
China, Russia,
or the people in Ukraine.
I would put at a point there was some shades of it in like Canada and Australia. They had their times where they were kind of more so with the it was certain things that kind of were leaning into there. Now, I do believe that there can be a time where that could be an issue here. We're not there. We're not there, but there can be things that can be done to lead us into there. However, and this is my issue with with media, our mainstream media, whether it be the ones on the liberal side like CNN and MSNBC, or the ones on the more conservative side like Fox News, fear mongering. The fear mongering has become, and it's so funny because even though in MSNBC there was a guy talking about how they could basically get black people to vote, and he told them, scare them. He literally said, scare them. And so that's what you're seeing. A lot of these issues are, they're not as bad as people make them see. The RVW situation, there are ways around it. No, they're not trying to kill you. A lot of these places have situations where they will allow it. Some of them have windows. You can always go through company lines. It's not a situation of, oh, the whole country is shutting it off. Now, again, it does leave more power in your hands, because if you don't like it, guess what you can do? Vote.
Yeah.
If this is a pressing issue for you, it gives you more incentive to get involved. And honestly, for that reason, I think more things should be pushing people to get involved. You should be more involved with what goes on in your communities. We have enough people just sitting on their hands doing nothing. And that's even coming from somebody that is looking at the issues within our community as Black people. And I'm like, what can I do more of?
I think we're getting away from
huh?
I think we're getting away from where I wanted to steer this.
Well, my bad.
No, you good. So like I said, so
I was about to break us all the way to Chicago, because you heard about the fact that the Bears are trying to leave Chicago. They're trying to go to Arlington Park or something like that.
Oh, from Soldier Field to
yeah.
Oh.
Move a few miles down the road. But
Anyway,
Lightfoot is trying her hardest, but they're not budging.
Here's the thing. Like I said, no, but you said, let's say you're right. It is a people issue because people created the Bayhive. Beehive? I said the Bayhive earlier. No, I said the Bayhive earlier. Nobody corrected me. So
it's Beehive.
Okay,
That's why you see a lot of bees, like buzzing bees.
Yeah, people created that.
People create. I don't know if he has a name for it, but Kendrick. People created the crew. People created the Navy. No, not the military Navy. I'm talking about Rihanna's fan base.
They call that the Navy. That's the best they could come up with.
Let me make sure I'm not up here with any misinformation.
Like
the Rihanna Navy.
That's
all right. Let me see. Why are Rihanna's fans
go for it? Go for it.
The Navy. Navy gets its name from a lyric on Rihanna's rated R era song G4L. We are an army, better yet, a navy, better yet, crazy. Pews in the air. The name was solidified after she appeared in the 2012 film Battleship.
That was a garbage movie, by the way. It was absolutely terrible.
Garbage. I need to throw that in there. Logan Paul can't have opinions on movies nowadays.
But I saw a tweet and I wish I could find it. Somebody brought up the fact that I thought about that because the thing with fanaticism is like there are fanatics for what that guy was talking about, a white supremacist god. There are. They're also fanatic. They're fanatics and everything. And like you said,
fanatics from black when it comes to black nationalism.
Yes, they're fanatics. In everything, you'll find fanatics. Like they're fanatics for comic books now. Like, for example, what you saw, the other thing I saw you, which is kind of my Ooga Booga. Actually, transition. Ooga Booga take of the day, of the week. I have mine. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, my Ooga Booga take of the week. By the way, for those who don't know where that came from, last week or like 2 weeks ago,
it was
last week when Kid Cudi walked out of his concert at Rolling Loud, he received a lot of criticism for some unholy reason, because people kept throwing things at him on stage, and his history, his mental health is well noted. So people were saying, some people were saying that's, it's terrible. That shouldn't be happening. One person in particular said he needs to move on. A guy responded with, and I quote, 2 IQ Ooga Booga take, which if you watch the video from last week, it nearly killed me.
It did nearly kill me throughout the week, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. So my Ooga Booga take of the week comes from I'm not gonna embarrass you because I don't like people doing people like that. So She-Hulk is coming out. The series She-Hulk is coming out. I'm a huge fan of She-Hulk. And in the picture, somebody had in the picture of at Marvel Multiverse, they have an image of the Incredible Hulk when in the 2008 movie where he's tearing the car, where he's using the car as boxing gloves. And then under it, he has an image from She-Hulk of Professor Hulk trying to do a yoga pose. And then the guy's tweet says, emasculated for the MCU. It's in a reference to the fact that the Hulk has been emasculated and the fact that the MCU has been, bringing in more women characters, in this case, She-Hulk.
Oh, is that what that meant?
Yeah, that's what that meant. Because you have Miss Marvel, you got Echo coming up, Yeah, Captain Marvel, who received a lot of hate from weird hate that was very confusing. Like a lot of people didn't like that scene in Endgame where all the women heroes teamed up to help out Spider-Man. A lot of people didn't like that, which confused me. A lot of people didn't like. A lot of people don't like She-Hulk. First, they didn't like it for the CGI, and now I'm just thinking, all right, now you guys just hate it. They fixed the CGI, and now they just hate it because of how Hulk is being represented. Even though Hulk was presented the exact same, how Hulk is being presented in She-Hulk is the exact same way he's being presented in Endgame, which is as somebody with brains. Because I don't know if you read comics or not, Professor Hulk is a thing where he is in his Hulk form, but he is basically still Bruce Banner with all of his intelligence, all of that, all of his powers and all that. But, you know, just not this mindless rage monster. But for some reason, if you look at the comments of that tweet, some people, and this one wasn't the only one, a lot of people just really would rather have a Rage Hulk go everywhere. Which, to me, is, I don't...
And I asked
wow,
you
kind of
when I saw it.
Huh?
When I asked you about the followings, it was because like I said, I've seen a lot of these takes, and I'm starting to notice a lot of some of the worst takes are coming from people with these low followings. Like one I saw had 0.
It was pretty low.
So that's just where I'm at. I was just like, some of these people are looking. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the podcast. People are saying things for attention.
Yeah.
Like, going back to Homegirl, there's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that she wasn't looking for attention by posting that picture.
I mean, she was. I mean,
like, you can't sit here and tell me I don't post these pictures for y'all. I post these for me. If you really posted a picture for yourself, you wouldn't put it in a public forum. Because why would you need to put it in a public forum if it's just for you?
Okay, so right. However, and I had a conversation with somebody about this before, in regards to people who do post stuff like this, or people who have like OnlyFans, even though OnlyFans isn't you don't have to post the norm for OnlyFans, whatever that. My thought on that is, nobody's asking you to click on it. You can post. I mean, I'm saying, like, yeah, if you're posting, you're looking for attention, but the people giving her attention, they ain't got to give her the attention.
Hey, stop taking my stuff, man.
I'm just saying, like, for real, no, because that's what they do. Like, all these people,
now you're trying to sound like me.
Mind you, they're asking.
You're right, though.
Requesting. You ain't got to do it.
This is a what is the scientific term? I think it's commensalism. Hold on, let me double check. I should know this.
She posted that for attention. Doesn't mean she's gonna get it. I don't know what her Instagram looks like. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram. You know what I mean? For all I know, she could have posted that, right? She could have posted that, and I'm pretty sure it's probably not getting the. I bet on it. If I went on Instagram right now, I bet you it's not getting the traction she thought it was. It's getting attention, but not for her Instagram.
This is a mutualism situation. There we go.
You see what I'm saying?
Mutualism, because everybody's getting something from it. So you're getting attention, and then they're getting whatever they want out of it. So yeah, right. You're right.
You ain't gotta do it.
You don't have to, but yeah.
Like, but then also on that note, and I had told somebody this: when you do post stuff like this, whoever sees it, that does not give them and this is a whole other conversation. Whoever sees it, that does not give the right of whoever sees it to then perceive something about that person. So she can post this. That doesn't give, some thirsty dude out there the idea to run up on her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, because I'm willing to bet, and I hope not, but I would put money if where we live right now and where we live in the day and age we live right now, and I hope nothing does, but if something were to happen to her, right, she gets in some kind of trouble, what's the first thing they're gonna say? What's their social media look like? And they're gonna see this picture and be like, oh, well, yeah, the guy's wrong, but he's not that wrong. He's not as wrong as she is. Somehow, she's going to be wrong, even though she's, the one in trouble. Which, again, that's not me wishing trouble for this young lady. That's me. That's just me. That's just what it is. I hope not. I hope whatever career field she goes into, she knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I wish no harm that on anybody. CYNs is Winston-Salem right now.
So what?
Control Your Narratives in Winston-Salem.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get your ticket yet?
Not yet. OB is there. That's how I found out.
All right, I'm gonna get. Wait, who's there?
OB. He has the picture. He posted a picture with A double.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you gotta go to that thing. I want to go to that thing. Probably gonna get tickets are out now, right?
Nobody wants to see Control Your Narrative, but every single time I look, they're having sold out standing room only shows.
Like it's I don't know,
it's hilarious the amount of hate that they get, and they're still.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous because they're not even. I'll give them conservatism because you said there's a difference. I see more conservatism versus republicanism. Definite conservatism because I know. Control Your Narrative. If you, not them as a whole, because I know they're not either way.
The thing I'm starting to learn about conservatism.
But I'm saying I can see the
really isn't a political. Conservatism really isn't a political alignment.
I know conservative lifestyle.
It's the way you live.
So it's always been conservative. Conservatism has always been a lifestyle. Always.
Well, so what I've started to understand is you think about most of our family members, albeit that most do vote Dem, they're conservatives.
Yes. Yes.
You look at your parents right now. You can tell me right now they're conservative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they probably vote Dem.
Yes. Also, yes. Like nobody in my family is either they're either in the middle or Dem. There are I think like one person, but I think she had to have shifted. I don't know. They're either in the middle or they're Dem. There are no Republicans in my family.
Oh, they got a curve stage.
They got a what?
So the ramp is curved.
They have a what?
The ramp is curved.
Curved like how?
It's like a turn. It's not a straight line.
Like a WrestleMania 19 kind of curve?
Like Royal Rumble, like the Royal Rumbles, the last few Royal Rumbles.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the thing I've been noticing because like even looking at what's her name? Myra Flores, who flipped one of the seats in the house.
Yeah.
That had been blue for the last 100+ years.
Right.
That was the moment I was like, okay, both of our communities have historically been conservative. Historically. Now, a lot of us are still of that mindset. Some have kind of slided over to a more liberal approach to life. That's why I've been trying to separate the word liberal or conservative and Republican because I'm looking at it as like a lot of these Republicans ain't really conservative. And there's some conservative, like I can tell you now, Tulsi Gabbard, she's a Democrat, but she's definitely conservative. She's like the one that I know that just sticks out to me. And they'll probably call her like a Dino or Dino, whatever that is. Like, because the Republicans have
Dino and a Democrat in name only.
I just heard that like a few weeks ago for the first time. Like, I've heard Rhino.
Yeah, that's what they call Mitt Romney.
Yeah, they call him that. They've been calling
Liz Cheney
that. Somebody else, but Romney was like one of the first ones I heard being called a Rhino.
It was right after the January 6th. Which is still wild. I don't care.
They were calling him a Rhino when he was playing too.
I don't want to go here. I don't want to stay here long, but y'all like the group of people who think that like that whole thing was wild. Just that whole thing was just really, really wild, and it's really funny. I think it's two things are funny. One, the fact that they're spending so much time talking about it, trying to get 45 on this is really funny. It's funny.
Why are we still worried about this? Because it's not going to.
I don't know. That's why it's funny.
You know what is really giving? The impeachment trials.
Yeah. That, and then the other thing that's funny.
This is impeachment trials 3.0.
It's that, and then the other thing that's funny about it is that some of the Republicans who are like hardcore for it and all that are like really like outing themselves about how like just how shitty of people they really are.
What have I been saying about politics? It's a what?
It's a shitty game.
It's a game.
Yeah. It's a very bad game. It's like, and it's like most of the people.
I love politics. I hate politicians.
And then it's like some of the people and mind you, this is all funny to me because I know that's how it is. It's just really funny watching like some of the more ardent supporters of it have like these so garbage ass skeletons in their closet. It's just really funny. Like how one of them has he is facing federal trafficking charges, which I don't know, which is just really funny.
Yo, Billy and Sean evidently got into it at StarCast.
Who?
Bill Body and Sean Ross Sapp.
Bill who?
Bill Body.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, good for you. I was thinking about it like some like the big name reporters don't like him, like Sapp and Meltzer, all them, and then even Brad doesn't like him because he's been known to steal some of Brad's scoops, which Brad has again been doing his thing because they brought up I think it was what is that dude name? Raj, evidently. They credited Raj with a story about them temporarily banning the talent from trading stocks with WWE. Brad wrote that one early in the week. But I think Billy may be the most hated of this group of people. So because I follow, I think I follow Will Washington. No, I don't. I follow the other one. But Will Washington posted it. I'm trying to go through here and see if anybody will say something about Brad too.
Anyway, what else you got? Because SummerSlam starts in like less than an hour. Not less than an hour, a little over an hour.
I need to go get my my dinner. But
yeah, I need to go grab some drinks for the show. Probably grab a Monster.
Yeah, I like I said, the whole JayDaYoungan situation is just it's sad.
According to
I really don't feel bad for the game, but knowing his influence on the children is where I'm so concerned at.
West Side Gun.
He's probably there, isn't he?
West Side Gun, I'm looking at it now. West Side Gun is somewhere with Jay Cargill. Got a picture with Jay.
The talent know who he is. I just need Tony Khan to stop playing around. You think they'll get over 40,000 today?
Where are they? Tennessee?
Yeah.
Maybe. Apparently, Becky.
I think they'll get over 40,000 ticket sales, and they'll probably announce to be like 45 in attendance because they do count. They count like people in press boxes. They count like people that are working, and there's a lot of other guests that's coming into.
Apparently, Becky and Bianca is going to open.
Well, ain't no way that's going to go 28 seconds.
Yeah, should be interesting.
The USA Network just put a link to a news report about Sasha and Naomi returning.
I hope not.
So this is that's Billy. I am weak, but yeah, that's all I got. Though I'm gonna go downstairs and
wait. Are you talking about the one that says the most amazing thing just happened from Brian Zane?
Yes.
Hashtag Starcast.
Yep.
Is Billy the one who looks like a freaking like?
Yes.
With the
yes. He looks like a yes. Because I don't know what that is. Is there words to describe that?
This man got a. This man.
The whole time I thought Bill Body was some type of little like. I was thinking he was looking a lot browner than this.
This man looks like what Fillmore from Cars sounds like.
This man looks like like a CM Punk cosplay from like 2009.
This man looks like Adam Rose out of work.
What was his name? You remember Charlie Whitehurst? This is Charlie Whitehurst on drugs.
Oh wow.
So this is where Dick Van Klondike went.
So Jorge Masvidal really let himself go. What can I say? He got hit by Usman. He got hit by Usman really hard, and we haven't seen him since. What happens
when you get beat up by Usman?
We haven't seen him since. I mean,
good point.
I'm not even kidding. I haven't seen anything from him. He hasn't even from the last few UFC events. He hasn't even been there. I don't know where.
In all seriousness, this is like This looks like the least intimidating fight ever. This doesn't even look like it's entertaining. Like, I would rather see Brad Shepard versus Sean Ross Sapp.
For people wondering, this is what people do at cons. It's two people who look like they can't fighting over something that doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean that in the serious and funniest way possible. This is what are you gonna do? This is literally for people who don't know. If you've never been to a con and trying to think of what like a wrestling convention or an anime or a comic book convention looks like, this is what the scene you're probably going to see. Most of them are sitting around, right? Most of them are sitting around or standing around talking to each other really intently about things that do not matter in the big picture. Are you texting?
Yep, responding now. Just respond.
All right, cool.
But yeah, man, this is.
That is the epitome of that picture. You're wondering what they're talking about. They're probably talking about something
so I can't speak for it.
I mean, granted, but still, you have two.
I can't speak on it, but Lord have mercy, this looks bad.
I'm saying you have two least intimidating people, right? Talking about something in big picture that does not really matter.
Sean Ross Sapp was like somebody's dad. and not the dad that you'd be scared of. He was like the, hey buddy, what did you say about my child? By golly.
Sean Ross. He looks like Sean.
You know what?
Sean Ross Sapp.
What was Jimmy Neutron's dad?
Hugh. No, Sean Ross Sapp. Sean Ross Sapp looks like what me and Breon think Russell Wilson is.
Like Russell Wilson.
The way me and Breon talk about Russell Wilson is exactly what Sean Ross Sapp looks like.
At least I've been told I look intimidating. I don't think I'm intimidating, but one of the kids told me evidently I have this intimidating aura about me. I'm like, why? It's because I just stand around my arms folded and semi-flex.
And then, oh sweet, Messi might come back to Barca. That'd be great. And then the other dude, whose name I can't remember. He looks like in that picture. It looks like they're arguing about the other guy's life choices because the other guy looks like because they look like brothers, but one of them actually got a job at a career and the other one keeps coming back to ask for money.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember the episode of SpongeBob when SpongeBob brought Patrick to boating school?
Yeah.
And then they started getting ready to start fighting. Everybody got around and they started fighting. It was like, this sucks.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like.
I want to find somebody has to have video of this. I need more than just a picture.
Oh, there will be video.
Maybe it looks better on video. But let's go ahead and get it out of here. I need to go get my food ready. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get up out of here.
We're gonna see y'all in like an hour.
In an hour. Peace, love, Pop-Tarts, and always remember to drink your water. Speaking
or Mountain Dew Spark, depending on your fancy. Also, we have a surprise for you guys.
Yeah, we have somebody joining us for a little bit on in an hour, so be back. Deuces.
Sliding it like a wet flow. Already fried from the get-go.